Hello, everybody. In this screencast, we're going to look at assignment 16, which mainly also focuses on JSON parsing, authentication, and other stuff, but mainly JSON parsing, local data storage of using shared preferences, and so on. So there is a login screen. Basically, you want to check to see, and it tells you go and use shared preferences. So basically, if you logged in, we'll store some information in the login in shared preferences to represent that the login has happened. Create account also is very similar. You create an account, returns some kind of token that we're going to store. And then basically you want to go and get the list of posts, create a post, come back, show the list of posts, be able to delete a post. Very simple. And you see here, we want to show welcome Bob Smith. Okay, good. So what I'm going to use here is, let's have a look at the first, before I decide what I want to use, is let's look at the postman. All right, here it is. Here's the postman file that was provided, mobile apps posts, post login, and basically you enter the username, the password as in the body, as part of the body. You click on send, and if it is correct, it will return back the status okay, a token, user ID, and the user full name. So basically it returns that. If it's not correct, let's say we add something here to the password, it will come back like this, and it will say unauthorized 401, and it will come back with a status and the message. All right, good. So that's the case here. But if it is successful, you get a token and so on. So basically, let's say I copy this. I'm going to use the JSON library. JSON library is very easy to use also. So I'm going to go here, JSON library. What is that? We'll come back to JSON library in a little bit, but let's also have a look at what do they have as part of the app. So basically here, does this have the internet permission added? Let's add the internet permission. Uses internet, close the tab. There's that. So this is the internet permission added. Let's see what libraries are added here. You have OK HTTP, and I'm going to add the JSON library also. So if you scroll down a little bit, here is the JSON library. Okay, and we go here, right click, new module settings, dependencies, add a library. Is that we added the JSON library? Okay, so we added the JSON library. It's syncing and so on. Okay, good. So now let's look at the main activity. Here's the main activity, and basically inside the main activity, it loads the login fragment. Here we need to check to see, let's say I'm going to store it. Let's have a key, string, let's say, for example, user info key equals user info, something like that. So that's the key for the user info, right? And I am going to check the shared preferences. So basically, if I look at the documentation for the shared preferences, this is how you get the shared preferences. You need the key, private mode, So this is something like that, shared preferences. So here's the shared preferences. I need a key. Okay, so the name of the file. So resources, values, strings. Here we are. Oops, sorry. Okay, so here's that. And basically this one is gonna be the file key. There's that. So this one is happy. The context, all of that stuff we don't need, because the context is the activity. Okay, so this is how you set up your share preferences. Here's the share preference. Now I can check to see if shared preferences dot contains user info key, right? This means you're logged in, else you're not logged in. So basically, if it contains it, then we go somewhere. Otherwise, we go to the posts fragment, right? So basically, either it contains it or it doesn't contain it, right? So, so now what we're going to do is store it. So basically, if you scroll down a little bit, after you're logged in successfully, let's look at the login fragment. Here is that. And basically the login fragment, you have an email and a password. and you want to make a post call. So if you look here, this is a post call to the login, right? So let's do that. So here is the URL is this. We need to make a post request. So if you look at recipes, posting a form, parameters in Java, and here we are. Okay, so here is request body. Okay, so that's this. Need to import. Okay, we have email, password. Okay, so one of them is email, and the other one is password. Import email and password. Client. Oh, we didn't copy the client side of the thing. Okay, so let's get this client here. Okay. Requests. We need to create a request. So after you have the body, you need to create a request. To make it a post request, this is how we create the request. This is our URL, the login. Basically, where did I get this login URL from? I got it from, oops. What is this? I got it from the Postman. I'll show you. One second, let me just paste it here first. Here, you see, this is the URL. It's a post request. These are the parameters, email and password. Import, here it is. New call, request.enqueue. New callback, e.print stack trace. Now we check to see if response is successful. This means the login is successful. Else and so on. We'll get string body. Here's that. Let's print the body. Body log d body. Okay, and maybe we get this one demo. All right. So here, otherwise we just do invalid. So get activity dot run UI thread new runnable, and here it is, invalid email or password, something like that. All right, we're good here. We're good. So now that's the login. Now we can try and see if this is going to work. Okay, here we are. And click here, it doesn't work. Let's say a@a.com. TEST123 login, and we're getting the token. See here, we're getting this information. All right. Okay, good. So we're getting this information in case it's correct. Now, if I manage to mess up the password, click on submit, and we're getting a toast invalid. You see that we're getting a toast message saying that it's an invalid email. Okay, good. So things are going well. Now, if it is okay, now if you scroll down a little bit, there is on auth completed, we return an object called auth response. So let's go to implementation of this. This is the auth response. It doesn't keep track of the status. We can get the status too, but keep track of the token, the user ID, and the user full name. All right. Okay. So basically that's what it's keeping track of. We can keep track of the status also. So here's the status just to be, because I'm going to use the JSON library. Now let's create an empty constructor. Here's that, select none. Also, I'm going to create a getter and setter for each one of them. Okay, here we are. And you see then the values matches the names. So basically if you look here, so where is it here? Here are the values. They match. You see here, status okay, token, user ID, user full name, everything is coming in fine, right? Okay. So how am I going to finalize this is by using the JSON library. So if everything is fine, I'll use JSON equal new JSON, and then auth response equals to JSON. From JSON, you pass it the body and you have the auth response. Listener dot auth completed, and I pass it auth response. All right. So that's done here, right? So if you go back here, you're gonna get on auth response completed. Okay. So basically, what I would like to do is have the auth response, call it m auth response here, and basically I'm just gonna store it here. M auth response equals auth response. In addition, I want to store it in the share preferences. Okay, so basically here's that, and I need an editor, and put that string, and here we are. So basically I need a string value to store. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the JSON. So notice that it's and I want to use the JSON library. I want to take the auth response object, change it into a string, and then store it. So basically I'll create a JSON, same story, JSON, and then JSON has this method called toJSON. You see here, if I do JSON dot toJSON to JSON, it returns back a string. You just give it an object, it will serialize it into a string. So basically here is JSON. All right, I put it at that key, apply it, and store it just for reference. And then here, if everything is well, I could just say new JSON. Here it is, the JSON object, and then mResponse dot. So basically I can get it from, if it contains it, I can get it from, and so on. Why? Because I need to pass that object anytime it's needed, right? So basically after you log in, I store the object. See, after you log in, after the auth is completed, I have the auth object. I store it in the share preferences, okay? And then basically we need to get support fragment, might replace the current one with the posts fragment. When the post fragment now needs to go to the activity and request the auth token, right? So the auth token is already stored here, right? Because we stored it in that variable, right? In addition, when we come in, when you come in at the first time, we check to see if it contains it, then we store it in a local variable, right? So basically, it's going to be stored in a local variable if the authentication is completed, or now if the authentication when you log out, when you click on logout, what we would like to do is the same story, right? So basically, we'll copy that stuff from here, paste it here. No need for JSON, right? And basically we want to do dot remove and remove it and then apply. So basically you need an editor, remove it and apply. All of this is also in the reference here. If you look here, this is how you write. You need an editor. Where is the editor? Put, then apply, and the share preferences and so on. So that's how we log out. We clear it. Log in. Now if we run it, let's see. Here it is. First time, you see there is no token stored. a@a.com. EST. I'm not going to submit. I just want to show you that we're getting the correct things. So let's go back to the login fragment, and I'm going to comment out this, and I'm going to put, let's say, or maybe put a breakpoint here. All right. And then we run it like this, just to show you that we got the auth response object. Oops. a@a.com, TST123, login. And you see here we are here. And the auth response object is here. We have the status, the token, the user full name, and the user ID. We have all of that stuff. All right. So now if we remove this, then we click on run. We are in the post fragment. Now if we run the app again, run the app again, it came to the post fragment. Why? Because of this check. It did the check here. Share preferences, is there something stored under this key? Yes. Gets it and then goes to the post fragment. Now if we go to the posts, now if we also log out, see the logout, what did we change the logout to do? It's probably not wired. So in the post fragment, where is that? Let's see. Yes, previous paging, logout, activity. Oh yeah, we need to take you to the login fragment. Okay, so here it is. Okay. Now you see we're logged out. a@a.com, TST123, login, and we're here. Log out, we're here. Now if we run the app again, you'll see it will show the login because we clear here we clear it when you log out. Good, so the logout works, the login works. Good, so now if we go to the post fragment, this post fragment needs to say needs to, let's also create new account. It's exactly the same code. So basically if you go back here, let's say create new or sign up, right? Here's the sign up code. Here's that. Now when you do this, it's exactly like the login, because if you look at the sign up, it's exactly like the login, but it has one extra parameter: email, password, and the name of the person, and the URL is sign up. Here's that. So let's go to sign up. This is the URL. We go to the login, just copy the code that we have. It's also a post call, so that's why I'm going to copy the same code. Okay, so I'm going to copy this stuff from here and sign up. Here's that. And here is the URL. And copy this one here. And what is it? Email, password, name. So email, password, name, and name. Sign up is done. We need a client, so go back again. There's a client, and here is the client. Client.newcall.request.enqueue new callback. All right. E.print text trace if response is successful, else okay. Invalid, unable to, or I could just call it unable to register. Okay, here's that. Now I'm not going to do all of that stuff. I need an auth, right? So I'm going to use JSON, right? So it's the same story, right? So basically I'm going to use the JSON library equal new JSON auth equal to this, and we're good to go. Yeah, because if you sign up as a new user, let's say XXX email, password, you click on send, it also gives you exactly the same auth response, right? So we're good. So I'm gonna replicate exactly what I have for the login, right? And we go from there. So now if we run this, let's say we create a new account. Let's say Alice Smith, test user at test.com, test123, submit. Here is that, and we're good to go. Now I need to display here welcome test user, right? So basically in order to do that, I need that auth object, right? So when you go to the posts, go back here, the posts fragment, we need to be able to display it, but I need the auth object. So basically I need this auth response, right? And in the interface I could just say void or auth response get auth response. Okay, and then basically the main activity needs to implement that method. All right, and return auth response. We have that here. So basically at the beginning we could say on view created, we say auth response equal to listener dot get auth response, right? And we have the on attach here. Perfect. So we have the auth response. So now we can just display the name of the person. So basically I could go in here, I could say check to see if auth response dot get user full name is not equal to null, right? Then binding text view title, okay, welcome, maybe I'll do n/a, right? So now when we run this you will see that it says test user. Okay, how is that done? It's because when we logged in or registered, we stored the whole auth object that got returned back, which has the full name of the user, right? So now if I log out, let's say I log in as a@a.com, test123. This is Alice Smith, and it says welcome Alice Smith. Okay, we're good. Now I want to get these posts. It's very easy also. So basically in the posts fragment, we need to get the posts. So if you look at getting the posts, so here is the posts. Basically it's a get request with one parameter, right? Which basically it has a parameter here, question mark, It has a parameter. The parameter is page equal to, and then there is a number beside it. Okay, good. So I can do that. And it needs an authorization. This is an authorized. So here's that. It needs this authorization header, right? Okay, which is the token, bearer token. Okay, good. So I'm going to copy that just for to be able to do this here. Now, also, let's look at the models. One of them is the posts. It has all the information we need. So here is a post. The post has this information, which is exactly the same as what we needed. Okay, here it is. Right? Created by post ID, created by UID, post text, created at. Okay, so basically, if I want to use JSON library, right? So I already have exactly the same mapping here. Okay, now if you look, there is posts, and then there is status, and then this is a JSON object. So what I could do is I could create a new Java class. I call it, for example, the post response. All right, and it has, okay, add. So basically it has the status, which is string status. Okay, and then array lists of posts, we call it posts, to match exactly what we have here, right? It has this information also. So then it has an integer, page size, total count, and so on. Okay, and maybe let's this guy make it equal to new array lists, and then default constructor, getter and setter. Getter and setter for all of them. And here's the post response. Good. So basically, if we go back to post fragment, let's create a method here, call it get all posts. By page. Okay, good. So here it is. Now, if we go to the login fragment, maybe copy the client. Here's our client. Now we go back to the login fragment. We have this request. Okay. Now I need the URL. Yes, the URL. Okay, here it is. So I have the page. I built the request. I don't have a form body. Add header and string. Now it's fine that it writes it like this, but I need it to match. So basically, you see here we have capital B, bearer. Here is capital bearer, and then mauth response. It's the value that we're getting from the activity, and here it is client dot new call request dot enqueue new callback. Is this now here? If response is successful, we get the body, right? And else toasts. Okay, we're good here. We have the body. Good. Now we can just log the body just for testing. And here we are. Okay, good. So now this is get posts by page. So we do this, copy that from here. On view created. Let's fire it up here. And we make the post page 1. Why? Because it says that the pages start at 1. So if you go here and you see the page starts at 1, send. Now what if we make it 0? And you click on send, it says an error. So basically if you look here, minimum is 1. Okay, good. So basically page equal to 1, and it gets you some stuff, right? Now let's see if we're getting it. Let's run this. Yeah, we're getting something here. and we are getting something here. Here are the posts. You see that? Cool. So now let's use JSON library. So here we are. Post adapter, page by Now we can, if that's the case, then we can do JSON equal to new JSON. And then what we could do is we could say the post response equal to this, and then mposts dot clear, mposts add dot that, and then adapter dot notify dataset has changed. Dataset changed, but for us to do this, we need to do it in get activity dot run on UI thread new runnable, and here we are. So now if I run this, you will see that the posts will be loaded. Here they are. Cool. So I have the posts, they are all loaded and so on, right? Here are all the posts. To delete a post is also very easy, because to delete a post, all I have to do is just get all the posts, right? Save that. Deleting a post is a post request with a post ID as a parameter. So where did we make a post request? In the login. Right, so I'm going to copy these two. Go back again here. Maybe we create a method called private void delete post string post ID. Okay, here we are. And then we go here, we copy the URL. Here is the URL. And now here is the post ID. All right, so here is the post ID. Call this post ID. Okay, maybe it's an integer. We'll just keep this as an integer here. We'll do string dot value of post ID, because I think the post ID is an integer. See here, the post ID, no, it's a string. Perfect, so we're good. It's a string, right? And then this is a string. So I'm gonna send you the post ID. That should delete it. All right, here it is. And now we'll do client dot new call request dot enqueue new callback. Here's that. Now, if it's successful, I'm gonna reload the list. Okay. Now, what we also want to do is we want to know what's the current page. So basically, what I will do is, okay, we'll have a string, or no. Let's say an integer current page equal to 1. So basically, when you come back, we will do current page equal to 1. And then basically we want to load the current page. All right, here's that. When you delete a post, when we come back, we'll say if response. Okay, here we are. If response is successful, else that. Okay. Okay, now here we just do get post by this current page. So basically we're just gonna get the current page, and that's gonna make another request. That's when you delete the post, you just need a post ID to delete the post. Where is that going to be? Most probably it's in the adapter inside the holder. Here's that, here's this, and here we go. So basically you have a post that's coming that you're storing. From the post we can get the post ID. Okay, let's run this and show you. Here it is. Hello guys, let's delete something. Let's say here at the top, I'm going to delete. Unable to delete the post. You can only delete posts that are owned by you. So basically, you need to show only the trash can if it's owned by you. So basically, how do I do this? Very easy. The post, when it comes back, if you look at get posts, it shows you the post ID and shows you the user ID who created the post. And when you authenticate, we are storing the user ID also here. So we can do a little bit of a comparison, right? So you could check to see if mauth response is equal to else if the mauth response get current user is equal to the post created by user ID, then we show the image, right? So basically we make this image visible, set visibility to visible, otherwise set visibility to gone or invisible, sorry. All right, so now when we run this, it does that. See, a lot of them are not. So let's do the create post so that we can create a post. Here it is. So creating a post is if you look, it's going to be, if you create a post, where is that? Creating a post is just a post request, with post text and a header. See that? So we did that where? We did that in the login. Let's go back to the login, copy this stuff from here, and we go to create post fragment. Here's that. And we're gonna put this stuff here, login fragment again, get the client, right? Here's that, we paste the client, and basically we have the post text. Here's this, and what's the name of the parameter? Post underscore text. Here's that. And in addition to that, the URL. Here's the URL. Okay, and then add header, authorization, bearer, blah blah blah. We're gonna look at this in a little bit, but here's the authorization, the header, bearer, capital A, capital B, capitalized. Now I need to change the listener so that we can get the authentication token. So basically I need to copy this method from here and replicate it here. And now I can also do auth response, auth response, and then do this here. Auth response equal to listener dot get auth response. All right, so we have the auth response here. So basically, in order to do this, I don't need to do all of that stuff. I just do auth response dot get token. All right, so we're here. Here's the request. Client.enqueue or new call, request.enqueue, new callback. Here's this. If it's successful, go back to posts. Otherwise, this is what we're going to show. So now let's run this again and see. There it is. Create a new post. Testing, submit. Here it is, testing, create another post. There's another one, create another post. There's another one. So I have these posts and you can see they have the trash can. Create another one here, submit, and here we are. Now when I click on the trash can, unable to delete the post, there's a problem. So let's create a post, cancel, it didn't delete. So let's have a look at why it's not deleting. The post fragment, here we are, and then basically delete posts and post.get post ID. All right, that's good. Okay, this by page, delete the post. The post ID is this. This is the post ID. Let's have a look at delete post. What's the URL? Did I copy the correct URL? Okay, here we are. Post ID. Oh, we need the header, right? So here is the header, right? We need an authorization header. So we go back here. Yes, we need the bearer authorization header, right? So run this again. See, it's deleting and then loading, deleting and then loading, deleting and then loading. Now let's look at this page stuff here. All right, so the paging stuff, if we look at it, it says that posts, hello XYZ, where something is the name of the logged in user. Okay, that's good. At the bottom of the page, you should include the right and enable, showing page something of something. So let's have a look. So if we scroll down a little bit, I need also this information. I need to know, see, when you go get the posts, I need these numbers, because you see these numbers show the page, the current page. I have the current page, right? Page size and the total count. All right, so basically I need, all right, so I know I need the total count. So basically integer total count equal to 0, right? And integer page size equal to 0, equal to 10, just for the sake of testing here. Here's 10. And basically, when I get this data, why I need this data to be public, because whenever I get it, I need to figure out if I have enough data or no to move forward. So if we, let's see here, so when we're getting the posts, when we got these posts, not the delete, but let's say we get the posts by page, when you get them, you already have this information in the post response, right? So basically in the post response, and so basically get total count, page size equal to post response dot get page size, right? And then the current page also, the current page equal to get the page. So basically I have this information here coming in, right? So I have this information coming in. Now what if I go to page 100? What happens if I say 1000 send? It will come back saying that this page 1000, but the total page size is 10 and the total count is 159. So basically just to show you that there is nothing, right? So basically this is page 100, 1000, and there is nothing coming back, right? So we can figure out that case, but let's see. So now what they want us to do is to use this data, showing page something of something. All right. So now if we scroll down a little bit, should say page 1 out of 50, right? Okay. Okay. All right, so page something of something. So basically if we scroll down, okay. So what we need to do is the following. So what I need to do is the page size, and I have the total count, so I can find what's the total number of pages, right? So I can find out what's the total number of pages. I don't need this to be stored here, right? So I need to figure out, so I have that information, right? So what I could do is now I could display information. So basically I could, I know, let's say, for example, the total count and the page size, right? And total count and the page size. Now let's say what is the integer max page equal to the total count divided by the page size, right? If it is, yeah, so that's the max size, total count divided by the page size. I think if we change them into double, take these as double, right? And then, and this one also as double. Okay. And then if we do the ceiling, okay. Okay, so now we do that. Now the current page equal to that. If current page is greater than max page, then current page equal to max page, right? And then we can do this. So we can do so we can do this displaying something out of something. We can do that here, Right, so basically showing page something out of something. Okay, here's that. Binding text view dot set text. Yes. Okay, so the max page. Max page is 1. So what if we do this? Let's see. 1 of 16. All right. 1 out of 16 pages. Okay, cool. So then now what we need to do is when you try to delete, let's see. We want to go next, right? So we do something like this. And we do something like this. If it's greater than 1, then you do this. All right, so let's do this and see. Go next, 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 and you see you can't go back all the way, and that's taken care of. What if I delete this one and we keep going? So anyway, a little bit of logic, but this fixes that and takes care of the situation. All right, cool. So let's create some posts. Submit, create another post. Submit, create another post. Create another post. Here we are. I'm just trying to go all the way above and add another page. So the page has 10. There's that. Another page, say it is 17, see? From 16 now we went to 17, add another one. So now if we delete this one, we go back to 16. You see that? Perfect. So that shows you the app. I think that takes care of all the situations. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.